Hello, everyone, and welcome to ROKStudios. I'm Lucy Caton, the brand lead for Europe, Middle East, and Africa at Rockwell Automation, and I'm joined today by Uwe Kueppers. Uwe is the manager at Kalypso, a Rockwell Automation business. Uwe, welcome to the studio.
Thank you very much, Lucy.
It's great to have
Great,
you here.
great to be here.
So, today we're going to be talking about the impact of digital thread on quality of design. This is a really exciting topic, and I know that it's one very dear to your heart. So, let's get right into the questions.
Yeah, perfect. Happy to do.
So, my first question to you, Uwe, is what does the digital thread mean in the context of modern manufacturing?
Right. Well, when you think about the digital thread, to explain it, it's basically a seamless flow of data throughout any of the process, any of the application, and securing as well that all information can be contextualized in that way. So it's basically a fundament for really driving modern manufacturing in that matter. So thinking about, for example, when you say you're starting to design something, which normally happens then by the R&D and engineering team, you might need to consider what is happening there. You need to have your bill of material, your bill of process. You need to understand how to take care of regulations in that matter and how that then is going from the engineering part into the manufacturing and thinking as well when you sell the product then to your customers, how they are behaving, how they use the products, and all that information is an essential part to bring products faster to the market, as well as understanding how do I create a higher profitability within my own organization in this matter.
That's great context. And just to dig a little bit deeper into your comment there, around the digital thread, how does the digital thread from design phase to production assist manufacturers in adopting to these new regulations?
Yeah, I think the regulation is a very challenging point for all manufacturing companies. You have regulation groups within a company which are really looking into the websites of what regulations are changing on a regular basis. And for example, if you think about sustainability and the packaging industry in the CPG environment, consumer packaged goods environment, there you can see that the EU law requires by 2030, 55% of the packaging needs to be recycled. Well, as a brand owner, how do you make sure that you can prove how big was the percentage you actually were able to recycle on the product? Which means you first need to think from a design perspective, what is the right material I use to make it recyclable or disposable? And also, how can I reuse most of the parts back for a longer life cycle? And therefore, securing from a design, having that circular economy in mind when you design your products and develop the products, and how do you make sure that in the manufacturing environment that then goes in and being sold afterwards to make sure that this is then being recycled and that you have the information, what material has been recycled and which way, so that you can potentially have an influence of optimizing the development of your product, optimizing the way you produce, and make it easier from a sustainability perspective.
That's great. And you talk a little bit there on the sustainability angle, but also on optimization. And I'd like to pivot slightly into efficiency. So, how, in your opinion, does it help to support efficiency targets, pardon me, while ensuring compliance and quality at the same time?
Right. And there's where you see the complexity, which I mentioned before. If regulations are changing, you look into the hubs. You want to bring products fast to the market. And therefore, it's essential that this process from the design point of view, from the development, from the regulation fulfillment point of view, is being considered within your manufacturing environment, but also after sales service point of view, all of that is given. Because if that digital thread is not been existing, how do you make sure that you analyze where the bottlenecks is? What are the standard operation procedure you're doing, and where do you lose production time to make you more efficient? How do you analyze what is the best quality, how to decrease the waste or scrap you're producing within your manufacturing, which all has a direct impact within your sustainability footprint. And you see how important that is, that this digital thread is been starting. Thinking about you simulating, for example, the way your plant has been operating, Now you can move that into an emulation part where you then understand in real time what is happening within your process, what influence will that change have in your production environment, how do I utilize, for example, AI or machine learning algorithm to optimize that individual process moving from automation to an autonomous manufacturing environment, and therefore understanding how that influences well people in their behavior, how they work, and how to move through the plant basically in the best way.
That's great. And I think it's obviously really critical for people and workers to have access to this information, as you had touched on there. So, my final question to you, Uwe, how can manufacturers forge a strong digital thread that sets them up for success?
The digital thread is a journey. There's nothing you can achieve immediately and result in having a done digital thread. So you need to understand where are the best areas to start. What are the monetary wise best value for you as a company to start? If that is in the simulation, if that is integrating the engineering with the manufacturing to avoid any major change content you have there and tracking that changes in the best way, having full traceability of the products. It really starts where how can I achieve the most value for me as a customer, as a company, and understanding what these use cases are, and then being able of driving them. We call that inner MVP, minimum viable product, where within the time frame of weeks, let's say between 8 to 16 weeks, you get an implementation and the first step of your digital thread implemented, seeing the value, getting the return on invest on that one, and then being able of moving forward in a cascaded, scalable, maintainable way, which secures the time to market fast going, which secures the sustainability and allows really empowering the people in there, as you were mentioning, because different personas need different information in the right contextualized way to enable and empower them in their work, and securing as well new people are joining you as in the company, because brand reputation is also a very important part, and that goes into the transparency what consumers and customers of your products are enforcing basically today, to really make sure what are the information I need to take an informed decision. Do I buy that product from this supplier or this supplier? So how do I make myself stronger in my brand reputation and add value the to the whole companies and to the whole groups and to my customers?
That sounds, really critical for companies to keep up with, and quite important for them to be able to increase and optimize their production, empower people, hit these sustainability goals. So I can really see the direct impact from the design thread on the quality of the design there. So thank you very much for sharing those insights. Uwe, it's been great to have you in the studio.
Well, thank you very much, Lucy, and looking forward.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And thank you for watching. If you'd like to learn more about digital solutions and the digital thread, visit rockwellautomation.com.